News Services Division of All India Radio presents Northeast Diary. Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Today we shall talk about the Nongkrem Dance Festival, which is celebrated by the Khasi community in Meghalaya. In this episode, we will also listen to an interview with Jatindra Sarma, director of the Kaziranga National Park. The state of Meghalaya is well known for its rich heritage and colorful traditions. The tribal communities of Meghalaya celebrate numerous festivals which are believed to bring peace and prosperity to the community. The major festivals of Meghalaya include Shat Suk Mainsiam, Wangala, Nongkrem Dance Festival, Laho Dance Festival, etc. Apart from these traditional festivals, the state is also known for its popular modern festivals such as Autumn Festival, Strawberry Festival, Cherry Blossom Festival, etc. This is the reason why many of the tourists come and visit the state to observe and be a part of the multi-ethnic ethos with a number of colorful festivals. Here is a report from our correspondent from Shillong.
The Nongkrem Dance Festival is among many such festivals which the Khasi community celebrates. The 5-day-long annual festival is celebrated in order to honor the powerful goddess Kablai Sinsar for blessing the people of the community with good harvest and prosperity. It is celebrated every year in the month of November at Smith, which is the cultural center of the Khasi Hills about 11 kilometers from capital city Shillong. The festival starts with a goat sacrifice ceremony, as the word Nongkrem means God-killing ceremony. In this ceremony, the priests perform a Pemblang ceremony, after which offerings are made to the ancestors of the ruling clan, to the deity of Shillong Peak. During the Nongkrem Dance Festival, traditional dance is performed by the young men and women of the Khasi tribe. They dress in their ethnic wares and perform their traditional dance in order to show their honor to their god and ancestors. The dance performed by men is known as Kasat Mastie, where they dance by holding swords in their right hand and whisk in their left hand, along with the beats of the drum and the playing of tangmuri or pipes. The dance performed by the women is known as Kasat Kente, which is performed in the inner circle, while the men perform their dance in the outer circle. A research scholar from the Department of Sociology, Martin Luther University, Francis Ivor Kongwar, talking to AIR Shillong, says that
one of the most significant elements of this mega event is the announcement of the dates for holding the festival. Normally, the date for holding any meeting is communicated in writing, either by letter or other forms of digital media in tune with the present situation. The dates for holding this festival is not through the modern mode of communication. The festival is held when all the traditional authorities who are looking after their own jurisdiction receive their knotted rings from the tribal chiefs of Himakairim. The tribal authorities, after receiving these knotted rings, would try to decipher them, those signs indicated in the rings. After deciphering these signs, they will be able to know that on which dates that the festival will be held. After that, their tribal authorities will eventually communicate to their subjects that they should prepare themselves for this religious festivity. With this announcement, all the preparations for rites and rituals commence, including the practicing of the beating of the drums and the playing of the melodious windpipe instrument begin.
This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Shillong.
President Draupadi Murmu, on her recent visit to Mizoram, attended the 17th convocation of the Mizoram University. She delivered an address in the special session of the Mizoram Legislative Assembly. The President also delivered a convocation address at the Mizoram University before the students, their parents and the faculty. In her address, the President appreciated that the Mizoram University, which started functioning in 2001, is today a prominent university in the northeastern region. She also noted that the university has made serious efforts in promoting academics that has resulted in the remarkable progress in the fields of science, arts, commerce, engineering and medical sciences. The university has gained the status of Institution of Eminence and taken some path-breaking initiatives. On the occasion, Srimati Murmu also virtually inaugurated several education-related projects, including the permanent North-East campus of Indian Institute of Mass Communication, or IIMC, at Aizawl. Here is a report from our correspondent from Aizawl.
While delivering the address in the convocation, President Draupadi Murmu was happy to note that the Mizoram University is a premier institution in the region, and the university is ranked in top 100 universities in 2020-21 as per NIRF. She said that the university has also taken path-breaking initiatives in research, development and new experiments in various disciplines. In her address, the President urged the students to realize their potential and explore the world with new experiments. She said that unlimited opportunities are stretched before them. She also asked all to educate the uneducated people. Appreciating the excellence of women in education, Srimati Murmu said, rising participation of women in education is appreciable and it should rise at a higher rate, saying that when women are in progress, the entire country progresses. On this occasion, the President laid the foundation for 2 ST Girls Hostel, postgraduate academic block in Patsunga University College. She also inaugurated the permanent Northeast campus of Indian Institute of Mass Communication at Aizawl. Srimati Murmu said that the IIMC Northeast campus will be a boost to the media and mass communication studies in the entire region. She said IIMC provides a dynamic learning and working environment which nurture new ideas, creativity and research, and also develop leaders and innovators in the domain of mass communication. The IIMC is an autonomous institution under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. It has 5 regional campuses in the country. The Aizawl campus offers a PG diploma course in English journalism. From the next sessions, this will start a PG diploma course in digital media. For Northeast Diary, this is Mary Venkay from Aizawl.
Northeast Diary broadcast an interview with Anish Ahmed from Manipur earlier this year about his innovative ideas of tree plantation that became popular in Manipur. In response to the program, the young environmentalist has been invited by the Tripura government to demonstrate his tree plantation method to the younger generation of the state. The environmentalist is in Agartala now and planning to organize rallies and other environment-related activities in collaboration with the Forest Department of Tripura. Let's hear more from our Imphal correspondent, J.J. Thokchom.
Anis Ahmed is from Kokta village of Bishnupur district of Manipur. He collected tree seeds and made the seed balls with the sticky mud and let them dry in the sun for some days before these balls were shot with the help of sling at the onset of monsoon season in those hilly areas where human could not reach easily. His innovative idea had impressed the Deputy Collector of Silacheri Revenue Circle of Gomiti District, Tripura. The Deputy Collector wrote a letter to the young environmentalists and invited to visit Tripura to interact with the concerned stakeholder about the tree plantation method. Anis Ahmed is now in Tripura and going to conduct certain environment-related activities in the coming days. While speaking to AIR News Northeast Diary through telephone, Anis Ahmed said that mass awareness should be created to conserve our environment and protect forests. He said,
one day I have got a message from the one deputy collector from one district of Tripura. Then after that, with connection with the State Forest Department Tripura, with State Forest Department Manipur, they forgot me here to do such activities here in Agartala. Marathon campaign all across in Agartala city. I have done awareness campaign there in Meghalaya on the last year, 18th of December 2021. I have done all across in city of Shillong. With this state, I have covered almost all 3 states, namely Manipur, Meghalaya and this Tripura, among the northern states of India. Actually, environmental degradation is one of the major concerns nowadays, especially degrading environment is the decreasing rate of forests and wildlife. So this is the need of the hour to take equal responsibility for every citizen. Let's make Green India the northeast and especially in Tripura.
What Anis Ahmed is doing for is the betterment of mankind and a priceless gift to the future generation. On the other hand, what AIR News Notice Diary did is to capitalize and support the young environmentalists on his good cause. It has also shown how far a media can help those who are doing good to the society. J.J. Thokchom, AIR News Notice Diary, Imphal.
In this episode of Northeast Diary today, we bring you an interview with Jatindra Sarma, Director of the Kaziranga National Park, on the conservation efforts at Kaziranga. The interview has been conducted by Manas Pratim Sarma.
Good evening, listeners. In this episode of Northeast Diary, we are joined by Mr. Jatindra Sarma, who is the director at the Kaziranga National Park. Mr. Sarma, welcome to this episode of Northeast Diary.
Hi, good evening.
As we know, that tourist season has begun at Kaziranga National Park and other areas of Assam. So, what is the footfall of tourists so far at Kaziranga National Park?
See, we opened the park last month only partial. So, this has been a good response, because with onset of Durga Puja festivals, our Honorable Chief Minister wanted that the tourists from nearby the areas to come and enjoy this Kaziranga National Park, to visit the park. So, we opened, it was declared open and then only limited perch because of heavy downpour in the areas, the northern being in rain-fed areas. So it has been quite encouraging as of now.
And when you speak on Kaziranga National Park, the first things comes to our mind is rhino, obviously. Yeah. But having said that, Kaziranga is overall known for other species also, precisely you say Big Five. So what is the overall conservation story? What is the success behind the conservation at Kaziranga National Park?
See, Kaziranga has been standing for the last 100 years, over a century. Because Big Five, when we mean Big Five, the umbrella species of tiger, we have around 121 numbers, the highest density of Royal Bengal tiger. Then we have the rhinoceros, or the iconic species. Then we have water Asiatic buffalo, that is again very interesting. Then we have eastern swan there, we have around 868 numbers, right? So then we have the Asiatic elephants. Though these are the big five herbivores which sustain in Kaziranga. The Asiatic elephants, we have around 1,000 numbers, above 1,000 numbers, 1,000 plus. So that way, even this Asiatic buffalo also 2,000. Almost 2,500 numbers. So that way is one of the precious species that we have in Kaziranga National Park. So the landscape around Kaziranga National Park, the grasslands, the woodlands, the best of habitats for these Big Five in the world. Very unique.
Right. Mr. Sarma, you are credited with the discovery of many medicinal plants in the country. So tell us about your research and findings so far.
I'm a person basically interested in medicinal plants, discovery of plants, exploring the plants of Northeast, which began 20 years back almost. Because with the development of some very few herbal gardens in Assam, especially in the hill districts. So there was that of documentation of all those plants of Northeast regions which are medicinally so important. It is a hotspot. It is one of the mega diversity areas of the world, the Assam being one. So I have to date, while documenting some important medicinal plants of the Northeast, I've also discovered medicinal plants which are, I think, 15 or 16 in numbers, which are novel to science itself. And for Indian flora, there are around 30 plus species which are discovered. So in that way, I have documented around 1,600 species of medicinal plants as well as mushrooms. These are all explored from primarily Assam. So that way, I think my passion that I've been working for those many years, and then many of the scientists around the world, they have been talking to me, and then that way, I have coined some plants, very especially the name of the state as well as name of my family members. So that way, I have tried my best to document all those medicinal plants, right?
During this initiative, you happen to meet, several scientists, experts. What's your experience?
See, they're amazing persons. One of the primary, I'll just name Dr. John Mood from US. Though he's not basically from botany background, he developed, discovering plants, which are especially gingiviferous, means what we call gingiber. So those species, and he has been associated with an elderly person by now, he's plus 80, and he has visited Assam, I think, more than 6 times. Then Dr. Christian Paf, he's no more. In fact, I just lost him way back in 2013 while for the first time he came to India, and he was with me for some days, I think 2 weeks in the Upper Assam. And I'm very pleased that I could coin a plant in his name. It's a very ornamental plant of Rubiaceae family. It's called Paveta puffy. So some other scientists also working on Arashi, that means all those Colocasia families and their Peter Matthews from Japan, all these scientists, and from India also there have been a lot of scientists from southern part of India, especially Tropical Botanical Garden Research Institute and Kerala. They have been coming and trying to explore the plants of Assam as a whole, the northeast. These are amazing. There are people who really, they're fond of plants and they keep coming to Assam. Very interesting working with these people.
Coming to Kaziranga National Park, we know we have flood, we have annual flood.
Yeah.
It causes damages, but at the same time, floods are also required. There are grassland management. So how do you manage all these things?
Many people think that a flood may be a bane, but for Kaziranga is concerned, it is a boon. The flood, if there be no flood, then we feel that the things are not going in good shape, because what happens, it replenishes the entire landscape of Kaziranga. Once there is flood, the entire water body is washed away, and it is filled up with new water, and lot of other bacterial growth are washed away. And then what happens is that there's fishes which are big. We have lot of water bodies inside the national park. The landscape contains a lot of water bodies which breed a lot of fishes, different species of fishes, and these are economically sustaining the people around the Kaziranga National Park, because these fishes go out and then new bridge come in, and then that way we have developed also this for managing our wildlife. We have highlands started with the park, so it's a huge task that we manage our animals during a lot of casualties take place. Though it also maintains the population dynamics of our entire species of wild animals, and especially the big mammals.
And finally, as a head of the Kaziranga National Park, what is your plan and initiative for its growth and progress overall?
See, Kaziranga is tested as a sanctuary proposed reserve forest way back in 1905. It's over a century. It was created as a reserve forest way back in 1908, then a game sanctuary in 1916, then it was opened up for tourists in 1958, then it became a wildlife sanctuary way back in 1950, then a national park declared with an area of 430 square kilometers way back in 1974. Now, what has happened, this was declared as a World Heritage Site way back in 1985. Now, we have expanded the park, adding new areas, adjacent areas, and declaring the other areas, including our reserve forest. Now, what we call it as a tiger reserve since 2007, and we have from 430 square kilometers to now 1,055 kilometers to this national park and tiger reserve, then which was also declared later on as an iconic tourist destination of India in 2019. So that way, we have been just expanding the areas. Now it's growing, and we are managing the forest. And under me, I have 3 divisions, in the northern bank, the Nagaon, then here itself at Panbar, Bokakat, that one division. So that way, it has been expanding, and the areas are increasing, and we're managing with all those animals and, birds and heavy fauna.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sharma, for giving us your valuable times, along with valuable inputs. Thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all of you, all the people, all India Radio. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you.
President Draupadi Murmu visited Sikkim recently, where she virtually launched multiple projects from Gangtok, attended a civic reception, and visited the Siddheshwar Dham in Namchi, where she interacted with women entrepreneurs. A report from our correspondent from Sikkim.
Speaking after launching several projects from Gangtok, President Draupadi Murmu showered praise on Sikkim for its natural beauty, positive indicators across sectors, and inclusive development. In particular, she highlighted girls' education, women empowerment, and gender equality.
सिक्किम की मेरी इस यात्रा के दौरान मुझे शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य, पर्यटन तथा सड़क से जुड़े विभिन्न परियोजनाओं का उद्घाटन और शिलान्यास करके प्रसन्नता हो रही है। मुझे आशा है कि इन परियोजनाओं से सिक्किम के विकास को एक नई गति मिलेगी तथा यहाँ की अर्थव्यवस्था मजबूत होगी। देवियों और स्वजनों, मुझे ये जानकर खुशी हो रही है कि 80% से अधिक की साक्षरता दर के साथ शिक्षा की दृष्टि से सिक्किम देश के अग्रणी राज्यों में से एक है। मुझे बताया गया है कि उच्च शिक्षा के इनरोलमेंट में सिक्किम देश में प्रथम स्थान पर है। इसलिए आपको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सिक्किम राज्य के गवर्नमेंट और आप सबको बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मुझे ये जानकर विशेष खुशी हो रही है कि सिक्किम में लड़कों की तुलना में लड़कियों का नामांकन अधिक है। भारत रत्न डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आम्बेडकर ने कहा था कि एक समाज का समुचित विकास तो भी माना जाएगा जब उसमें महिलाओं सशक्त और समृद्ध होगी। ये शिक्षा के प्रति सिक्किम के लोगों की प्राथमिकता को दर्शाता है। ये उपलब्धि के लिए सिक्किम के सभी निवासियों को मैं प्रशंसा करती हूँ। मुझे ये जानकर प्रसन्नता हुई है कि सिक्किम में देश के सभी राज्यों की तुलना में सबसे कम प्लास्टिक वेस्ट जनरेट होता है। ये स्वच्छता और सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के प्रति सिक्किम के लोगों की प्रतिबद्धता को दर्शाता है। मैं इन उपलब्धियों के लिए सिक्किम के लोगों की बहुत बहुत सराहना करती हूँ। स्वच्छता का ये मॉडल सभी देशवासियों के लिए अनुकरणीय है। स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में सिक्किम ने प्रभावशाली उपलब्धियां हासिल की है। राज्य सरकार ने सभी नागरिकों को उत्तम स्वास्थ्य सेवाएं प्रदान करने के दिशा में सराहनीय प्रयास किए हैं। मुझे बताया गया है कि कोविड महामारी की रोकथाम के लिए सिक्किम ने सबसे कम समय में 100% टीकाकरण का लक्ष्य प्राप्त किया था। सिक्किम ने जैविक खेती का एक मॉडल बनकर देश के सभी राज्यों के लिए एक उदाहरण प्रस्तुत किया है। सिक्किम को देश का पहला ऑर्गेनिक स्टेट होने का दर्जा प्राप्त हुआ है।
Sikkim Governor Ganga Prasad congratulated President Murmu for becoming the country's first tribal head of state and the second women president, adding that she is an inspiration for all. The governor also highlighted Sikkim's progress as a leading state of the northeast and one of fastest growing states in the country. Chief Minister P.S. Tamang called the president's visit momentous and presented various issues and development proposals before her. In Namchi, President Murmu visited the famous Siddheshwar Dham or Chardham temple complex where the Rudra Abhishek Puja was performed. The President also visited stalls set up by self-help groups and women entrepreneurs selling organic products, handloom and thanga painting among others at the temple complex. She encouraged the women entrepreneurs for their effort. With Saikit Sarkar, this is Tashok Mubutia for Northeast Diary from AIR News, Sikkim.
President Draupadi Murmu recently visited the state of Nagaland also. A report from our correspondent in Kohima.
On her arrival to the state capital Kohima on November 2, President Draupadi Murmu was accorded with a civic reception at Cultural Hall Kohima. Nagaland Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi, Chief Minister Nipurio, Deputy Chief Minister Y. Patton, a host of state cabinet ministers, MLAs, officials from the central and state government, and members from the tribal ho-hos attended the civic reception. President Murmu in her address said the people of Nagaland today stand for peace and prosperity, dialogue and development.
I am happy that my visit to Nagaland has coincided with the inauguration of various projects related to education, road infrastructure and finance in the state. I am confident these projects will improve literacy and ease of living and boost tourism and the economy of the state. The development of infrastructure is a key parameter for the growth of a state. The Act-East policy of the Government of India focuses on the overall development of the Northeast region. I am told that the literacy rate among women in the state is higher than the national average, and Nagaland is the safest place for women in the country. This demonstrates the high respect given to the women in the Naga society. I congratulate Srimati Phangnon Konyak on becoming the first woman to be elected to the Rajya Sabha from Nagaland. I would urge women of Nagaland to come forward and get more involved in public life. If women are empowered, there is more development in society. Women lead with empathy, with care, and they will give a new dimension to the development journey of Nagaland.
On the occasion, the President also virtually inaugurated and laid foundation stones of several projects of Nagaland, which include newly constructed government schools, institutions, roads and bridges under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. On day 2, President Murmu visited the historic Kohima World War II cemetery and paid homage to the brave soldiers who made a supreme sacrifice while defending the nation. She also visited Kukama village, one of the oldest villages of Angami tribe. For Northeast Diary, this is Asonyo from AIR News Kohima.
And now, let's listen to this beautiful melody from the lovely state of Arunachal Pradesh. With that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye. This program was presented by Anuja Kumar, scripted and produced by Sharmila Goswami and assisted by Kamlesh Mudgal. It was brought to you by the News Services Division of All India Radio.